Are you ready? You think you can tell us what to do? You think you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready. Bow to the masters. Break it down.
Alright, welcome to We Love Wrestling. Welcome to the We Love Wrestling podcast. I'm your host, Randy Duncan. My co-host is the ravaging Richard Buckout Jr. Rich, say something to the fellas.
What's up? Time for round 4 of this. It's going to be a good one this time, too.
You heard it, it's a good one. Round 4 of our full attempt at a podcast. Round 4. We're going to try to go an hour. Round 3, we didn't have an ending because we ran out of time and we talked too much. But we're going to try to have an ending this time, okay? So we're talking about factions today, ladies and gentlemen. Our favorite factions, our favorite tag teams as well. Because people don't know this, but a tag team is 2 people. A faction is actually 3 or more. So when people call a faction a tag team, and I do it sometimes too, a tag team a faction, they're actually wrong.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're going to correct that mistake, and can you still, yep, you can still see, even though I pushed the camera back a little bit. So, it's obvious which faction we're going to talk about first. You heard the theme song, you see the little cartoon flip of them flicking us, giving us the crotch chop. So, DX. Richard, tell us why you love DX so much.
Favorite faction, DX. They broke all the rules. And they were just savages against the boss. Like, going from terrorizing his property or fucking showing their asses and all that other shit.
They are
on TV no more.
They are the few handfuls of people that cross the boss, you know. Richard, can you turn that AC off for me, buddy? Oh, loud. Alright, I hope you can hear us better now that we turn the, you said you were hot? Or no?
It's pretty good.
We'll turn it on if it gets hot. If we get all stinky and sweaty, we'll turn the AC guys back on, but we'll speak louder. Anyway, we're talking about factions. DX is their favorite. DX crossed the boss, just like Stone Cold, just like all the other guys. So, The Rock. So DX, really good. Really good. They have great matches.
New and old.
New and old. My favorite rendition of DX is the one with Triple H, Chyna, X-Pac, Billy Gunn, and Road Dogg. That's my favorite version. I love Shawn Michaels, but my favorite version has to be them. They were good.
They're my top 2 superstars, Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
Those are his top 2, Shawn Michaels and Triple H. I love the New Age Outlaws. They're a great tag team inside of a great faction. So,
oh, you didn't know?
Your ass better call somebody. We love wrestling. But yeah, so and we're watching in the background, by the way, a Shield DVD because we're talking about factions, and we're going to talk about them when we get to newer factions. Yeah, we're talking about DX, and we're talking about all the. There's the Shield DVD for everybody who wants to see. Can't really see it. You see Roman Reigns and the boys' testicles. So there you go. And but yeah, we're talking about factions. They're really good. They're factions speak louder than words. So that's a dumb joke, but anyway.
It's pretty much all just a numbers game when it comes to that.
It's all just a numbers game. You know, when you guys in there, people rush in, screw job, while the referee's not looking, distract the referee. 4 Horsemen are the best at that.
Yep.
League of Nations does that a lot today. I don't like the League of Nations. They kicked out Wade Barrett because he's leaving the WWE, but which is lame because I like Wade. But anyway.
I like him better when he was bad news.
Yeah, bad news Barrett.
I'm afraid I have some bad news.
Yeah, that's good too. But that faction's shitty.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll talk about new factions later. Right now we're talking about DX and how good they were. I love Billy Gunn. He's an ass man. So am I.
I'm an Yes, man.
And then you got Road Dogg. He's just beautiful on the mic, and I was reminded yesterday that he was a tag team with R-Truth in the early 2000s. We were watching a Raw from 2000 yesterday, and it was pretty good. But
Eddie was a good rapper with R-Truth.
I guess. I know he had a country song. I know that.
My mom, she actually waited on the BP gas station before.
Oh, well, that's
in
cool.
Michigan.
Richard's mom waited on Road Dogg at a BP in Michigan. That's really good. And our next faction we're going to talk about, we're going to play the theme because we're fans of them too. And yeah, turn it all the way up, give it a little play. I won't tell you before I play because it'll ruin the surprise. Yeah, you guessed it, we're talking about NWO, one of the most polarizing factions in wrestling, and we're going to talk about why they were so polarizing. When they started, they were fantastic, weren't they, Richard?
Yeah.
Didn't you love the NWO? The Outsiders come, Razor,
WCW had
Razor and Diesel. They come out of nowhere. They're the Outsiders. They have to announce that they're in fact not a part of WWF anymore. You know, all that good stuff. And they just and then Hulk Hogan comes with his heel turn. Oh, before that, Kevin Nash puts Eric Bischoff through the floor at a Raw. I mean, at a Nitro, not a Raw.
Yeah, it was a Nitro.
And it was crazy. But yeah, then Hulk Hogan does the turn on Macho Man and Sting, and he becomes white and black, and that eventually gives us Crow Sting, which we love. But yeah, the NWO is a great faction, but
one thing that I liked that the NWO did was the NWO Monday Nitro.
Yeah.
The show takeover.
Yeah, they did the show takeover. They had their own pay-per-view, Mayhem or some shit.
Yeah,
They had quite a few.
Mayhem, Backstage Assault.
Mayhem, Backstage Assault, Sin, something about Sin.
Those are good video games too if you ever get a chance to try.
Yeah.
PlayStation 1.
But yeah. But then here we're gonna talk. Here's what's sad about NWO, and it didn't happen to DX. And here's what's sad about NWO, and it didn't happen to DX, and thank God it didn't. But NWO got too many members, too big, too fast, and then there was the Latino World Order and all this stupid bullshit that we didn't need, you know.
Yeah.
All the, you know, just, and then the Wolfpack split, and you know, Richard likes that. I kind of like it too, but I do like the red and black just a little. I had 2 red and black Kevin Nash action figures when I was a kid. I don't know where they are. I don't know where any of my wrestling action figures are. It's a shame. But anyway, they're somewhere in this closet, or we gave them to Goodwill, or Salvation Army, wherever you give toys, we gave, I don't know, something like that. But anyway, NWO is really good. We love them. We don't like them when they start adding Virgil and Little Guido and
They went downhill.
Eddie Guerrero. Even though Eddie Guerrero trying to get Rey Mysterio to join the LWO was pretty cool. It was pretty, you know, and he wouldn't join. Rey was like, I go my own way, thanks. You know, same thing Booker T did when NWO tried to get him to join. He was like, nah. Booker T never joined the NWO, and that was pretty cool. But I like Booker T. And he didn't need to. He didn't need to.
You remember when Buff Bagwell joined?
Yeah. You like Buff Bagwell?
He was alright this time.
I like Scott Steiner and Buff Bagwell as a tag team. They're pretty good. But yeah, What else were we going to talk about here? Anyway.
What about the Broad from WWF?
What?
The Gangrel, Edge.
The Brood. Yeah, we'll get to the Brood in a second. Yeah, hold that thought. Put a pin in that. We're going to talk about, real quick, we're not talking about tag teams yet, but Booker T and his kayfabe brother, Stevie Ray. Harlem Heat. They were good. We're going to get to them when we talk about tag teams. But anyway, we're going to talk about the Brood right quick just because they're not up there with the factions that we're talking about now. But just because Edge and Christian made their debut with the Brood. And my friend Andrew Hendricks helped me point that out, the other day on our We Love Wrestling Facebook page, which you should like and comment and post whatever you want about wrestling. If it has the word wrestling only, but if it has the word wrestling in it, we want to hear about it, or we want to see it. And professional wrestling, guys, amateur wrestling is cool.
High school. Gay,
it's not gay. Shut up, Richard. I did it. I did it in high school. We don't say gay on the podcast. That's one. And I wrestled in high school, so shut up. But I look good. I look I look good in a singlet. Not really. And Andrew can tell you that. I don't look good in a singlet. But yeah, we're do that with the podcast. We're talking about factions. Brood. Now here's an interesting thing about the Brood that you might not remember, Richard. Gangrel tried to come out, cut a promo. He sucked. He gave the mic to Edge, and then Edge took off, and then there went Edge's career. Edge and Christian were a great tag team. They were a little silly, but they were all seriousness when it came to the ring. So that was pretty good.
Especially the bloodbath.
Especially the bloodbath.
I remember seeing Road Dogg get it. He was pissed. And the Big Boss Man. They were just savages when it came to the bloodbath. They actually got that set up from the movie Blade.
We're also going to talk about shitty factions, but we'll get to that in a minute. Probably after we talk about great tag teams. But let's see if we got any more factions. Ooh, we cannot skip past the faction segment, the strict faction segment, without talking about the Four Horsemen. Richard, Jesus, the Four Horsemen. I love them. Richard loves them. Let's see, we got the four main ones. We got Arn Anderson, Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard, and Gene Anderson. We got a bunch of other guys that there's so many guys, Gene, Ole, Arn, Rick, Sid Justice isn't really a great one, but we got Sid Justice. We got Sting. We got Barry Windham. We got J.J. Dillon was the manager. We got Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn, and Eddie Guerrero. They were Four Horsemen as well. A Four Horsemen faction that did not include Ric Flair. Actually, it did in the beginning. Ric Flair was the leader of Dean, Eddie, and Chris.
Yeah.
And then Perry came later when Rick,
And Rick fell off.
Yeah, Rick fell off just a little bit, but he came back with a thunder in WWE. But Rick was in our next faction. Rick was in two great factions. And the second one we're going to talk about is Evolution.
Yeah.
Richard, why was Evolution so great? Or what?
I don't know. I didn't really like it.
You didn't like them? Okay, well, that's a surprise. I'll tell you why Evolution was so great. It's the only faction that's named. Well, it's not the only faction, but their name made so much sense. It was beautiful. It made so much sense. You got Randy Orton, this fresh heel, this fresh face heel. He could have been a babyface with the way he looked, but he's this fresh face heel. He's awesome. He's a badass. He just, you can tell he's probably a prick in real life, and you can tell.
And he smokes cigarettes, by the way.
And he smokes cigarettes, which heels do that. I guess me and Richard are heels. But yeah, we like Randy Orton. I do, and we like Evolution. And then we have Triple H. Okay, before we get to Triple H, let's talk about Dave Bautista. He's on the same chart with with Randy Orton when it comes to Evolution. He's this young, big, brash powerhouse, and he's just the animal. The Evolution, the animal is in Evolution, just great. And then we got the next step behind them, Triple H, the cerebral assassin, the King of Kings, 13-time world champion. Too many damn times if you ask me. John Cena too. Anyway, the only guy who deserves that many titles is the next step of Evolution, Ric Flair. Just, he got the cherry on top to this fantastic faction. Is this wrestler with the most experience of all four men combined, probably, and he's just a fantastic wrestler, even up in his old age. He he had great chemistry with all three of the other members of Evolution, especially Dave Bautista. I mean, especially Triple H, really, but him and Dave Bautista, you can see them getting along quite a bit. You know, Dave, you call each other Dave. Rick, of course, because that's the man's name. But yeah, we love that. Now,
Alright, let's talk about when they kicked Randy Orton out.
ooh, okay, good call, Richard.
That was funny.
What do you remember about that? You think it was funny?
Yeah, I remember when Triple H gave them the thumbs up.
And then gave him the thumbs
turned
down.
him straight down.
Okay, see,
And then Batista just going ham on
me and Richard are at odds at this. We're at odds at a lot. Because Richard's goofy as hell sometimes. But, sorry, Richard, but
It's the truth.
Randy Orton. It's the first time I've ever felt bad for Randy Orton in wrestling. I was a kid when that happened. We were kids when that happened, you know. So, well, I was. You know, you're about 2 years old, 2, 3 years older than me. But, I saw it and I was like, wow, that's really effed up. I hope Randy Orton has a huge feud with Triple H, and he eventually does. But,
they became friends.
and they became friends and all that bullish. But, you know, they had a great feud too, and it became because of that. I remember the thumbs down. I remember the backdrop Batista gave Randy Orton. It was pretty awful. I mean, it was great. It was great TV.
It was very amusing.
It was great TV. It was great TV, and I loved it. But when I say awful, I mean it was like, wow, like, oh no. It's kind of like when they kicked Sting out of the Horsemen, except Randy Orton was a dick. Sting was a good guy. So.
Still is.
Still is. He's had some heel turns, but you know. Alright, now let's talk about tag teams. I'm going to tell you mine first and explain why they're my favorite, and then Richard going to tell you his.
Everybody already should know that.
Everybody should already know. Okay, well, never mind. Okay, well, he's going to say it again anyway, but I'll say mine first. His will be quick, because he said it a lot. But the Rock and Sock Connection is one of my, it's probably not my number one, but I chose to talk about it because it is one of my favorite tag teams.
We'll do top two.
Okay, we'll do top two. But yeah, probably one of my favorite. Just so great. Just two powerhouse superstars, like my favorite Mick Foley and my fourth favorite The Rock, going in there and just kicking all sorts of ass. And you know, they won the championship, the tag team championship 3 times. I said that on round 3. Yeah. You know, so but yeah, I love them both. Great. And Richard, tell us one of yours, and then I'll tell mine. We'll do a sandwich type deal. Who's your favorite? One of your favorite tag teams?
Alright, well, I'll say my first and third. So anyway, DX.
Alright, we pretty much know why.
Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
Yeah.
Because they're raw.
They were raw, yeah.
And they didn't give a shit about what they were doing in the bar.
They did not. Alright. I gotta give one, don't I?
Got my second.
I would say the Dudleys, but I'm not going to say the Dudleys, and I hope this isn't your second one, what I'm about to say. LOD, Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal. Too good for words, ladies and gentlemen. You just got to watch their matches.
Especially the War Games.
Especially the War Games matches.
They were in there from the beginning.
You can tell, and I mean you can totally tell where about 10 to 20 tag teams get their style from. The Dudleys, the Hardys, bunch of tag teams get their style from them. Sabu, I've seen Sabu and RVD do that. What's that move they do, Richard? Where one's on the shoulders and the other one's off the ring. I've seen Sabu. Yeah, I've seen
Can't remember his name.
RVD and Sabu do that. Like, there's people, you know, everybody's done that move. Like, and they got it from the Road Warriors. Tag team style, you got it from the two people, the Road Warriors and the Steiners. If you're a tag team wrestler, that's where you got your style from. I'm sorry, but if that might be hot. I don't know. Stellar Steven can tell us if that's a hot take or not. But
shout out to him again.
Shout out to him for like the 100th time. But he can tell us if that's a hot take or not. If you're a tag team wrestler, you get your style from either LOD or the Steiners. All right.
I know one more.
And
got it from too.
what?
Stunning Steve Austin and Flying Bride.
Oh, the Hollywood Blondes. Now, was that your number 2? Yep, that was his number 2. That's a great number 2. Explain.
They just went good together.
Yeah.
They basically communicated right.
Yeah. And right when they were beginning to pick up heat, you know, pick up momentum. I mean, they split them up.
Yep.
WCW was known for that. The guys would get momentum and they'd split them up. I don't know what their fucking deal was.
But one thing I like about Stone Cold, he continued his momentum.
Well, Brian Pillman went to ECW, and then eventually was followed by Steve Austin to ECW, who had one match with Mikey Wimprick, which he lost. He cut a bunch of promos for ECW that were gold, and they're all over Hardcore TV, which was the title of the television. They had another one, and they had another wrestling TV show that was about 30-45 minutes, and that's what they should bring back. Wrestling shows that are about 45 minutes without commercials, about an hour with commercials.
Yeah.
You know, a couple promos, couple matches. Of course, you know, you got dark matches for the fans. You know, so the fans will be there about 3 hours enjoying wrestling.
Yeah.
But only about an hour and a half of it should be on television. You know, you got matches with jobbers and squash guys. You got fun matches, you know. And but anyway, we're talking about factions. And
let's get top.
Oh no, we're talking about tag teams right now. What's my top one, bro?
Your top 3.
Okay, we'll do top 3 factions. 4 Horsemen, NWO, and the Dangerous Alliance from WCW.
Can't remember who was in
Everybody.
it. Yeah.
Stunning Steve Austin was in it. So many guys were in it. Just so many heels. Rick Rude was in it. Who's the other guy? Bobby Eaton was in it. Beautiful Bobby Eaton. So yeah, there's a bunch of guys in the Dangerous Alliance. So, who's your top 3 factions?
My top 3 is number 1, DX. Number 2, Red and Black, Bullcrack, NWO. And number 3, Nation of Domination.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do now is talk about a tag team within a faction, so I can just talk about the faction. Let's talk about the Young Bucks. You know who they are? Nope. Okay. This is going to be a Just Me segment for about 2 minutes, maybe 3. Richard doesn't know about ROH, he doesn't know about the Bullet Club, he doesn't know about Kenny Omega, the Cleaner, he doesn't know about the Young Bucks, but they're great. The Young Bucks are a great tag team. Richard, if you love super kicks, you'll love the Young Bucks. Richard likes the Usos because they use the super kick a lot. He would like the Young Bucks because they use the super kick a lot, and they're good at it.
Actually, I don't just because of that.
Well, not just
But
because of that.
because of the teamwork.
Well, the teamwork, and part of that teamwork is the double super kick at the same time. You hear that thud, it's pretty good. But that Young Bucks super kick, boy, they super kick chicks and shit, they don't give a F. I said F too many times already, so I'm going to say F a couple times. But, yeah, they kick pretty hard. Anyway, they're within the faction called the Bullet Club, which used to be a lot bigger. It had Finn Balor. It had Finn Balor. It had fucking AJ Styles, Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Shit, Ming Haku was in the Bullet Club. You know Ming Haku. You know, a lot of guys are in the Bullet Club. So And I know I'm missing a bunch of big ones, and people go, how come you didn't say this guy? How come you didn't say that guy? 'Cause I don't remember.
Next video.
Wrestling's a lot of stuff, you know. Anyway. Back to tag teams. We're gonna go. We're talking about Rock and Sock Connection. We're talking about DX. We're talking about LOD. We're talking about Hollywood Blondes.
Wanna know what my grandpa's favorite tag team was?
What?
The Bushwhackers.
Alright, Richard's granddad liked the Bushwhackers. That's nice. That's crazy. The
I
Australian
like them too because of the way they
Australian ass kickers, Bushwhackers.
They did.
Mhm. Let's see.
Let's do top 5 tag teams.
Alright, we'll do that in just a minute. Okay. I'm going to talk about Stan Henson and Bruiser Brody. You know who those two are, don't you? You know who Stan Henson is. He's just inducted into the 32 Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Alright, well, you know who Bruiser Brody is, don't you? The guy that Invader stabbed, that Carlos Colon covered up the murder. Remember we were talking about that?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they were a great tag team. They kicked ass all over Japan, all over America. They were good when they got together. They broke up and got back together twice. They're really good. And then, yeah. Alright, Richard wants to do a top 5 of the tag team. Since he came up with the idea, I'm going to let him go first.
Why would you do that?
Because he came up with the idea.
Well, first, DX. Second, Stunning Steve and Flying Brian.
Oh, well.
Next would be the Rock and Sock Connection. 4 would have to be Spring and Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
And my 5th one would have to be Mankind and King.
Alright. Alright, I'm going to rattle off 5 in no particular order, okay? I can't really give these in order. I love tag team wrestling. I love good tag team wrestling. So, but this is no particular order. My top 5: LOD, Rock and Sock, Dudleys. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. Oh. The new Briscoes. The new Briscoe brothers. Not the old Briscoe brothers, but the new Briscoes with the E from ROH. And, the Mega Powers. Macho Man 87, Hulk Hogan. Hulk Sex Tape Hogan, the Mega Powers. And, we have a pretty good list. One of them was the same, and that was Rock and Sock. So what I want you to do, like I asked you to do with the last one, make a match.
Comment your favorites.
Comment your favorites, your top 5s, or top 10s, or top 20s, whatever you want to do, and book a match between my top 5 and Richard's top 5 if you want. No one's done that yet with round 3. Round 3's new. We're putting up round 4 tonight.
Yeah, and put on comments that you want us to talk about.
Yeah, and put on stuff that you want us to talk about, guys. We need topics. There's so many. We don't really.
We're running out of ideas.
We're running out of ideas already, and it's only round 4. Of course, we're going to come up with new ones, but we would like your help. Eventually, we're going to do one about video games. Eventually, we're going to do one about lucha wrestlers. Eventually, we're going to do one about Japan. We're going to do one about titles. We're going to do a bunch. But today, we're talking about factions and tag teams.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Do you or do you not think they should bring a women's tag team championship?
Oh yes, I love that.
My dad said that they used to.
They did. They used to have one. Forget which one, but
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them do it.
WWE should get on that. So yeah. So let's see.
Another good tag team. Edge and Orton.
Edge and Orton, Rated RKO, very good tag team.
Very.
Edge and Christian. I think Edge and McFoley had one tag team match together and it was really good.
Yep.
Let's see here. What are we talking about? Talking about... Okay, now we're going to talk about shitty factions. Shitty factions. And we can put the Brood on that list.
I actually like the Brood.
So do I, but we can't. But fans will put the Brood on that list.
I would.
Other fans would, and I would disagree with them too. I like the Brood.
I got what?
What?
The Spirit Squad.
The Spirit Squad. Shitty. Dolph Ziggler. Shout out to Dolph Ziggler. You were in the Spirit Squad. Don't try to deny it. You were in the Spirit. Remember? Dolph Ziggler was in the Spirit Squad. His name was like Chip or Doug or some stupid shit, but
Mikey.
Yeah, something like that.
That video.
He might have been Mikey. I don't know, but yeah, man, it was pretty bad. It was pretty awful. Oh, the Union. Talk about Mick Foley talks about the Union on an episode of Legends of Wrestling. He said it was really shitty. Like Vince McMahon comes out with a 2x4 and there's all these wrestlers and he's one of them. And it was a mini faction inside of what later became the Corporation, which I also thought kind of stunk.
Corporation.
Yeah.
They had good superstars in it, but the faction.
The Rock was like the corporate champ.
It's just like the Authority.
Couldn't dig it. Yeah, this is like the Authority. I can't dig the Authority. I can't dig that. By the way, if Richard's here, he's going to watch NXT live. Or not live, because they tape it, but he's going to watch NXT as they show it for the first time, if he's over here when it comes on. So, but anyway, we'll talk about NXT. But anyway, I don't know why I wanted to bring that up. But what are we talking about?
Shitty factions.
Shitty factions. Shitty tag teams. Name some shitty tag teams. Rich.
Shitty tag team.
It is hard, and I'm gonna tell you something. This isn't a shitty tag team, but yes. What? Alright. They're not a shitty tag team, but when John Cena and Shawn Michaels got together, it was pretty it was pretty wild, but two guys like that didn't need to get together. Richard's going to keep me entertained, talk about some shitty tag teams. I'm going to try to think some. I'll be right back.
It's going to be a minute, because I'm trying to get a minute.
We'll talk about something.
Oh. Hardcore and Bob Holly was a good one. That's not a shitty team, but
They are good.
I was coming out with a scale.
You mean Crash and Hardcore Holly?
Yeah.
Hardcore Holly is Bob Holly. Jessica.
Oh yeah, no. But another good tag team I just thought of was the APA. They are some savages. I remember seeing an episode of Raw where APA was actually in a bar fight. A real bar fight. They went pretty savage. Some other things. Oh, shit. I can't think of any shitty tag teams, dude.
Alright, well,
I just talked about the APA.
Oh, APA is great.
Yeah.
Love the APA.
About the actual bar fight.
I was going to go ahead and talk about new factions, but first, let's spend a little bit more time on tag teams, because there's just so many that we need to talk about. APA kicked ass, didn't it?
Yes,
all up and down the world. Pat Patterson and Andre the Giant were a tag team for a while. They won the belt a couple times in WWF, I think, or maybe it was WWF at the time. They're French-speaking wrestlers. They communicated that way. They spoke French to each other. But they were friends. But Giant Baba and Antonio Inoki won the IWGP, I don't know if they called it that back then, but the NJPW Championship. Tag Team Championships. So, yeah.
I got a good one for you.
Hook it up.
You are going to like it. Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie.
Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie. Of course, we're talking about Terry Funk and Mick Foley. Just a great tag team. My favorite wrestler with my 7th favorite wrestler. Just killing it. I love Terry Funk. I love him so much. He's still wrestles. He's older than shit. Terry, stop wrestling. We love you. Stop it. Him and Mil Mascaras had a match 2 years ago. They were both 79 years old or 80 years old, and they were wrestling in a match together. And that's ridiculous. Mil, Terry,
going savage.
knock it off. Mil and Terry, we love you. Stop it. But yeah, that was a great tag team. Terry and Dory Funk, good tag team.
Yep.
Dory and Dory Funk, good tag team. Oh, Terry, Dory, and Dory, good faction. The Funk Brothers. Von Erichs, good faction. Good
Definitely.
faction. Kevin and Carrie, good tag team. The Freebirds, good tag team.
Yep.
I mean, a good faction. Michael and Bam Bam, good tag team. Bam Bam, I mean Terry, Bam Bam, Gordy.
Yeah.
You know, Michael Hayes, Bam Bam.
I like the Kane and X-Pac.
Michael P.S. Hayes. Kane and X-Pac. Now, ooh, we got to talk about this if we're talking about tag teams. I'm going to get a little louder, guys, because I really want you to hear me. But tag teams, Kane is notorious for teaming up with little guys and just whipping ass with them and winning belts. Him and X-Pac, like Richard keeps wanting to bring up, and we're talking about him right now. I love that tag team. X-Pac brought Kane out of the shell. Then they had that stupid feud over a girl, which is just like, ugh.
Wasn't it fun?
Yeah, it's like, ew. It's like, don't do that.
Especially with her.
Don't make it over a girl. But then he tag teamed with RVD.
Yep.
Which I love.
That brought the hardcore out of it.
There's a clip I put on We Love Wrestling of them talking about smoking weed, and Rob Van Dam was like,
420.
yeah, Rob Van Dam was like, you didn't even want to hit the mids, which means you didn't even want to do the mid card, but hit the mids can also mean smoke marijuana. So
Yep.
that was pretty funny.
Happy late 420.
And then Kane, happy late 420, and then Kane asked, and then RVD asked Kane what do you do this weekend, champ, and he said, I found this stinky, smelly skunk and I put it in my basement. And RVD said, oh, you found that skunk too, huh? And I said, oh, you came across that skunk too, huh? And that was pretty cool. But
I want to watch that.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's on the page whenever you want to watch it. But Daniel Bryant and Kane, good tag team. Team Hell No. Yep.
I wasn't a big fan of that.
You are not a big fan of any of the good ones. They're good. Daniel Bryan. If it has been, okay, let me tell you something right now. Whether it was the Wyatts, Team Hell No, Daniel Bryan. Oh, we gotta talk about them. We're talking about new factions. Daniel Bryan, man. Oh my God. We're not talking about new factions yet. We're talking about tag teams.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan's a great wrestler, and anything he's in, whether it was the Wyatt family or Team Hell No, he's good. Whether he's single, which you know he's best when he's by himself. He's just phenomenal wrestler. Shout out to AJ Styles using the word phenomenal. Phenomenal wrestler. But, yeah, so.
We're still doing tag teams, right?
We're still doing tag teams. We're trying to come up with some more. Dusty Rhodes and Dick Murdoch. Very good. Very good tag team. The Graham family. Superstar. Eddie. The dad. Dr. Graham. Which, I had a government, there's a government teacher on my school named Dr. Graham. But, talking about Dr. Graham, the wrestler. But, yeah, the Graham family.
You remember, Too Cool?
Too Cool, Rikishi's, Scotty Too Hottie, and who is...
Grandmaster Sexy.
Grandmaster Sexy.
Also Jerry the King Lawler's son.
And Grandmaster Sexy is actually passed, if I'm not mistaken. Dead. No. Scotty Too Hottie alive?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, never mind. Grandmaster Sexy's alive, and he's...
As far as I know.
And I didn't know, he's Jerry the Lawler's son. Wow, I did not... Jerry the King Lawler's son, I did not know that. But, yeah. So now that we're done with tag teams, we might go back to it, of course. Okay. Get out of here, Fly. Yeah, we always go back to our first subject, usually our second subject. We're going to talk about new factions. We're going to start it off with the Wyatts. I'm the Eater of Worlds.
At first, I didn't like them, but after I started watching them more, they grew on me.
Well, I don't like heels, so when they came on the scene, I was like, ugh, but they were really creepy, and I liked it. I just don't like that Bray Wyatt kisses dudes on the forehead, but that's cool. I mean, I do love the Sister Abigail, but he doesn't have to give him a wet old sloppy one. Yeah. He doesn't have to give him a kiss, but I do love that. I do love his little spider walk. I love his promos. I love his vignettes. I love everything about the Wyatts. I love Luke. I love Eric. I don't love Strowman that much.
He's a savage.
He's a big old meat train. Big old.
You see when fucking Brock Lesnar suplexed him?
Yeah. I
That
told
was
you about
fun.
that. I told you about that. Brock Lesnar didn't like the way Braun was selling for him, and he just fucking. Brock Lesnar was just like, "You're gonna fucking sell for me," and he annihilated his ass. Yeah, disc one of the Shield DVD is over, so I'm gonna put matches in. You're not gonna hear anything. It's just me and him watching the matches. But yeah.
We might talk about you.
So the Wyatts.
Faction.
The Wyatts are a new faction. League of Nations is a new faction that I already told you I did not like. New Day. They are a faction. They want you to eat ass cereal. I don't agree with that, but I do like them somewhat.
Bootio. They make sure you ain't booty.
Which I don't get because they're booty O's, so how are they going to make sure I'm not ass if I'm eating ass? Ain't I going to be ass?
I can't believe it's that actual cereal.
But yeah, they sell the shit at Walmart. But yeah, man. Three big black guys want you to eat ass cereal. Think about that. Doesn't matter that they're black, but three big guys want you to eat ass cereal. And then let's see, and we're going to top it off by talking about this new faction section by talking about the Shield. One of the most powerful new factions of the new era. It's a shame they broke up.
That gave the Wyatts a run for their money.
Gave the Wyatts a run for that money, and I'm guessing they had no further to go, so they had to break up the Shield. You know, once you've been to the moon,
I don't really want to go back.
you know, you don't want to spend 30 years trying to make it to Mars, you know. So,
I would try it.
Richard would, because he's a space case anyway. But, so am I. But, yeah. We love new factions.
The older one's better, but...
Of course we love the older ones better. We love new factions. We love old factions. We love factions. We love tag teams. Richard, how long have we been going on this thing?
Only 42 minutes.
Only 42 minutes. Okay, we got about 20 minutes. We might go a little over if we want. We're going to talk about the Brothers of Destruction. They need their own segment.
Yes, they do.
Because we're going to talk about their singles competitorship. And we're going to talk about...
everything tag team.
And we're going to talk about their tag team competitorship. But, yeah. So, why is BOD so good? Richard?
They go together.
They go together.
And they play the brother part off so perfect.
They played the brother... Who would the Grim Reaper's brother be? A demon from hell. It's the perfect story.
Perfect.
And
You got the Phenom.
first time you've ever seen thunder and fire used in a match. You know, they struck down lightning on each other in matches. What?
And burnt each other.
They burnt each other up.
And buried each other.
They buried each other and broke caskets and destroyed urns and killed, air quote, Paul Bearer, who is really dead now. R.I.P.
He was a good.
Manage in peace. He was
a damn good.
Percy Pringle was his name back in the day. So. But yeah.
He played that part perfect too.
He played that part perfect too. But he was oh yeah! Oh yes! Anyway, I'm gonna stop doing that because it sounds creepy, but he was Mankind, Kane, and Undertaker's.
You won't beat my Undertaker.
Yeah, you won't beat Mankind, Undertaker.
Oh,
He's got the urn now. He has the power. Anyway.
Even SmackDown vs. Raw 2010.
You can wrestle with him. You can wrestle with Paul Bearer. I don't know why you would want
There's
to.
a story mode where he keeps popping up out of nowhere.
Yeah. But yeah.
That'll be another talk for another.
Yeah. So BOD, they're really good. They're just great. Oh, we're gonna do something right now that we said we have a little bit of time. We have a lot of bit of time actually, and we said we were gonna do something for China, and we're gonna take a 10-second silence, but we can't do a moment because it's a podcast. We can't have dead air. But we're going to do a 10-second silence, and after we do our 10-second silence, we are going to play her theme song. So, we're doing 10 seconds because you toll the bell 10 times when a wrestler dies. So out of respect for China, please, we will be silent for 10 Mississippi. Alright, we did an extra Mississippi for good luck. Now I'm going to look up, I think it's Don't Treat Me Like You Know Me. I think that's the...
I don't know the name. I usually just look up the name and...
I say China theme, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. But, just wanted to give a title for the fans. But,
She actually had like 3 or 4 different
she had 7.
Really
Alright, that was China's theme song. Wrestle in peace, China. We love you. Sorry. You're gone. You will be missed.
He wanted to break the hatchet with Triple H, but Triple H wouldn't do it.
Bury the hatchet? She wanted to bury the hatchet with Triple H, yeah.
But now he feels like a dick.
Yeah, I bet he feels like a jerk. But, a good singles match is about to come on, everybody. FCW, William Regal versus Dean Ambrose. It's on the Shield DVD. We're talking about factions. We just want to throw that out there. This is the Shield DVD, and Dean's about to wrestle Regal, and it's really good. We turn up just a skosh. You probably won't hear it. I hope not. Sorry. If you want to hear it, sorry too, but you can't. I'm trying to talk here. So yeah. But we love factions. We love tag teams. We love China.
Yep.
So we did our tribute. I'm glad we did. We followed through. It wasn't in round 3, so we did it in round 4.
Yep.
How much time we got left, Rich? Or how much time do we have done?
We're at 48 minutes.
We're at 48 minutes.
Seconds.
Hello? Yeah, what's up?
Let us know what your favorite factions are.
Alright, let me know when you're outside.
What your favorite tag teams are.
Alright, bye.
In the comments below.
Alright. So, yep. Do all that. What Richard just said. Listen to Richard. Listen to the Ravishing One. He wants us to comment on our favorite faction. Tell us who your favorite faction is. Please, please, please answer our question with sugar on top. Or cocaine, whatever you prefer.
With a nice cold brew.
With a nice cold beer. Richard's got a beer in his hand. I don't drink during the day. Just because, I don't like it.
I used to drink.
I like to wait till 5:15 to crack open a cold brewski. But, yeah. So what we're going to do is, Richard, you're going to talk about DX for about 3 to 5 minutes. Or as long as you want, as short as you want. And then I'm going, as long or as short as you want. Don't worry, no pressure. And then I'm going to talk about the 4 Horsemen. And don't worry, ladies, I can go that long. I will talk about the 4 Horsemen for about 5 minutes. But first, we're going to hear from Richard Buckhout, the Ravishing One, on DX. Go.
When DX first started, I thought nominal. And I just love the way that they handled shit. They handled shit awesome. Especially crossing the boss all the time. That was the best. When they fucking went against Nation of Domination, that was pretty good too when they mocked him.
Yeah,
X-Pac ended up being Mark Henry, and he was pissed.
that was funny. No, Mark Henry laughed. He thought it was funny.
Yeah, but X-Pac was pissed.
Oh, X-Pac was pissed because he was scared to do it.
You didn't want to do it.
Yeah, I'd be scared too. Mark Henry's a big guy. Anything else, Rich, about the X?
Yeah, when Triple H and Shawn Michaels ended up mocking Shane and Vince.
Yeah.
That one was great too.
We talked about that yesterday. That was really good. Why?
Because they got it perfect.
They got it perfect.
Especially Shane O'Mac.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels doing the arm twist when he was dancing around the ring.
Yeah, he's dancing all the time.
Yeah. And then Vince goes, "Stop it!" And
you want to dance?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dancing. Or some shit.
Yeah.
This music video pops up.
Yeah, Vince McMahon's old music video.
It's also got Hulk Hogan in it playing guitar.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan playing guitar for Vince while he sings. But yeah.
And dance.
And dance. Now I'm going to talk about Four Horsemen. Now I love Four Horsemen, and I didn't say his name before, but Mongo from the Chicago Bears. He's a commentator and part of the Four Horsemen. You know. Oh my goodness! She put the title in the trash can, baby. What are we gonna do? But yeah, I love Mongo. I love the Four Horsemen. But yeah, I don't like the Bears though. Bears fucking suck. But yeah, Four Horsemen's great. They're just so good. They had main eventers, and I don't know what this whole thing is. Arn Anderson. People don't think he's as good as he was. You people need to check your shit, man. Arn Anderson was a good wrestler. Arn Anderson is even believing this hype that he's not that good, and it's bad. It's bad. Bad for business, as the authority would say. Arn Anderson, you're a great wrestler. Please stop it. We love you. Anyway, we're gonna do our ending question, I believe.
Oh, and I do want to promote my YouTube channel. Dumb Dudes with podcast and video game walkthroughs if you want to go subscribe.
And what is going to be the name of that YouTube channel, Richard?
It's Richard Buckout right now. I'm going to be changing it soon. So
Alright.
I'll put it down in the...
He's probably going to change it to We Love Wrestling. We don't know. Right now it's Richard Buckout. But,
it'll be a different stuff.
It'll not just wrestling. So we might not call it We Love Wrestling. We might call it We Love Everything. We don't know. But, we'll see. But anyway, our end question today is, why do you love factions? Richard, why do you love factions?
I love factions because it's all a big number game. Anybody could win.
Yeah. Especially when two factions get together, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
And it gets comical.
Yeah. Even though, anything else? No? Alright.
Nope.
Well, I'm going to tell you why Two Real Randy Duncan loves factions. I loves the factions because it comes. They started a thing, you know, the 3-on-3 tag match, which by the way is overutilized today. They use it too much.
Yeah.
But I do love the 3-on-3, and it's a great thing. You know, it comes from that. It comes from two factions having beef. It really comes from the Von Erichs and the Freebirds having beef. You got what's his name? Buddy Jack Roberts, not, you know.
Yeah.
Buddy Jack Roberts, Michael Hayes, and Bam Bam versus the Von Erichs in these 3-man matches. They were good. They were really good. And then you got Jimmy Jam Garvin getting up in the bedness. Oh, Richard found another faction we're gonna give you.
Look it up.
We're gonna give you another faction before we split here.
Actually, I don't know if it's a faction, but it's a faction.
Go ahead.
Hillbilly Jim, Lil Beaver, and the Haiti Kid versus King Kong Bundy, Little Tokyo, and Lord Littlebrook.
Okay.
With the midget.
Yeah, with the midgets. Okay, yeah, no, with the little people, Richard. We call them little people, Richard. Okay.
Habit.
It's a habit. We got to break these PC habits these un-PC habits that we have. But yeah, 3-on-3 matches are great, and it comes from factions. We love it. Speaking of faction fights, we want to see the Roman Empire versus the Baylor Club. We want to see Roman and the Usos. The Rock is a stretch, of course, but we want to see Roman, the Usos, and in quotation marks, The Rock, or parentheses, what have you, versus Finn, Doc, AJ, and the Machine Gun, Carl Anderson. So make that happen, WWE. And so for that, we say thank you for watching. We love wrestling. And before I say goodnight, let's see if we can find a good. You know what? It's not going to be a faction thing. But before I go and tell you goodnight, I'm going to play this theme. Actually, I'm going to say goodnight, then play it. Good night, everybody. Take a step. We love wrestling.
Until next time.
Till next time.